Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and welcome back to my channel.
Who is that they, them on my screen?
Hi, hello, hey everybody, how are y'all doing? It's me, Zach, and I'm back again here on the YouTubies to take a short break from some Rosie content, mostly because I think Rosie content is only going to amp up from here. Tomorrow, June 10th, is the premiere of the Paradise documentary, and I'm sure she's just going to be on the internet saying some stupid shit. Because it's Rosie, and that's what she does, I will say also, though, well, I never got to her last Texas vlog, but I did see that she uploaded the vlog of Remy doing something with some gross-ass looking-ass food. So perhaps if you're lucky, I'll get around to that maybe tomorrow, someday, or maybe never. Who knows? Just like Rosie kept you waiting with anticipation for all of the Texas content, I too will keep you waiting with anticipation for my reaction to Texas content. But, like I said, we're going to take a break from her to talk a little bit about Amberlynn, who, for whatever reason, well, I know what reason. She doesn't have anything else to do. She's broke. She doesn't have a job on the internet, so she's trying to get attention on TikTok. She actually has been making a couple of just like standalone TikTok little situation types of deals, so maybe that's worth noting. She's eating in all of them, so there you go. I guess if all else fails, go back to old reliable. Maybe that will get her some payment on TikTok. I don't know, but she's still going on live stream panels and stuff like that. In particular, she also just can't get enough of surrounding herself with predators. And she also went on to a live stream with Stefan from the Paradise House and the pending Paradise documentary that's about to come out tomorrow. So, all of that being said, I heard she had some things to say about me and just was being Amberlynn in general. And one of my moderators clipped all of this for me, and we will be watching it today. I figured what better way to take a break from the old Rosie Lynn read than to tune in to the original Amberlynn read. So that's about all I gotta say before we get into it, so let me just shut the fuck up and let's get to, shall we? Oh, let me say this though, I will apologize, and by that I mean it's not my responsibility to apologize for, but the live stream format is how Stefan chose to stream all the stuff on his channel that day, so it's primarily just us looking at Stefan in this recording. And I apologize for that because, like, I'm subjecting you to looking at this man, but let this just be a reminder that the girls can't get enough of talking to this man who has several allegations out there about his predatory behavior. And I think we're only going to learn more about it. In the next day or so. So just keep that in mind. Let his face on the screen serve as a reminder of this is who people like Amberlynn and Rosie are readily going on to panel with and talking to for clout, for I don't know what. I don't know what Amberlynn's intentions of doing all this are. Amberlynn isn't a girl's girl either, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, let me shut the fuck up and let's get to.
Was tech talking? Go ahead, handsome. Poor tech.
Thank you. No worries.
I should also say, so the Shelby person that was in one of the other Stefan streams that we watched, the Stefan stream with Rosie, is there. There's somebody named maybe Cherie Babe. I don't know who that is. And then the person on the very bottom of this panel is Tech Protect from Lil Cow Bus. So he co-hosts that with Fupa Cheese and Foxy Mama. Just so we're on the same page.
Yeah, no, I'm planning to do a video on Rosie. There's some things she's been saying publicly that just don't line up. You know, it just doesn't seem truthful. And it's not mean-spirited, but when you're kind of like exposing someone for lying, it comes off as mean-spirited, so it's kind of fucked. I don't know. I feel a little guilty.
I mean, she shouldn't be lying. She shouldn't be lying. Nobody.
Just for the record, also, I think Tech's already made several videos via Lil Cow Bus about Rosie and talking about Rosie. This, in particular, was from, let me get the specific date from my moderator. It looks like this specifically was posted on June 7th. So I think that they had already been for sure talking about Miss Rosie. Let me just go pull up the Lil Cow Bus channel, because at the very least, they've posted many live streams that had Rosie's face in the thumbnail. Yeah, they had one 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago. Also, just as a note, in case you didn't know, Lil Cow Bus is literally traveling to Vegas to watch the documentary premiere at the Paradise House. I think that's weirdly, it's maybe, well, one, I wouldn't take time to platform Stefan to give him a place to talk about his story in the first place, which is a thing that the Lil Cow Bus show has done. But I would say there's maybe an argument for why they might want to do that. That's one thing. It's a whole other thing to go to the place where some of these things allegedly happen. It's weirdly to me. But y'all know that I think that the Lil Cow universe in general is weirdly to me. So this, that, the other, whatever.
Be lying unless, I mean, it also depends on what it is. Like, I am now absolutely hardcore against, for example, anybody lying about SA. If you're lying about SA, you should go to jail, not me. You're weirdly. How about Stefan? You just try not to assault women. How about that? Let's start there, weirdo. Allegedly.
Agreed.
And
Amberlynn sitting over here agreeing with that. Amberlynn, you're a weirdo.
If you got anything juicy and you got the receipt for it, well,
look. One of the subjects is, there's a podcast that she did sometime back where she talks about her introduction into like the Phoebe community, and she makes a claim about being groomed into it.
Okay.
But the numbers in terms of when it started, I think she must have been like 26 or 27 when she got into that. And I think using the word grooming is a little much, like, that's assuming that someone at 26 didn't know what that was and was like innocent to the whole idea of it.
I do think Rosie uses the word groomed in a lot of situations where it is at best a stretch. And my skepticism of her using the word groomed and grooming and things like that comes from her saying in one of her own members-only live streams, which she took down very quickly, so I don't have the receipts for this, but in one of her members-only live streams, once upon a time, back in the day, she was saying that I was trying to groom her into being the next Amberlynn Reid. And it's like, well, no. no, I'm not, first of all. And second of all, I think the point that Tech is trying to say is, like, at a certain point when you're, like, of adult age, you should be able to, like, make some level of decisions for yourself, because I think we usually associate the word grooming with people who are underage, right? That's not to say that I don't think that, adults can't be manipulated into doing things maybe they don't want to do or didn't want to do or things like that, because I definitely think that exists. But I think the distinction that the word groomed is being used when it's so commonly these days specifically used to refer to children is important, right? Like, I think that is an important distinction. She can feel like she was manipulated into Feederism and things like that. I don't know, I'm still skeptical of that even too, to be honest. based on just like her many retellings of the ways that she was allegedly, you know, brought into the feeder community. But yeah, she definitely needs to stop using that word, because she's used it outside of the context of feederism as well, and I think for me that's like a huge issue. A huge issue.
I don't know. I have to still work on the video. I don't want to say anything out of line without having all my ducks in a row.
Of course. But you know, you see where this is coming from, right? Like, sometimes people now intentionally use like triggering language because they want people to stop and listen. So grooming obviously is a very triggering word.
I see. Yeah. See, now here's my issue, though. Here's my issue is that Stefan is latching on to maybe somewhat fair critiques of Rosie, right? To justify, you know, this whole thing. Because now I've seen multiple clips where Stefan sits here and makes claims that like people have faked SA allegations against him and things like that. Like, this is not the first time I've heard this. That seems to be his whole defense, at least from what I've watched. I'm very curious. To be honest, I don't know how much of like the content outside of Rosie that I'll cover about the Paradise documentary on my channel. Again, I'm mostly interested. God, if I could only talk. I'm mostly interested in the Paradise stuff because of Rosie's involvement. And I'm mostly curious to see how she's even involved. But I am interested to some extent now in what this man actually did and how much of that gets exposed on this documentary, because I've just heard him say a lot about people faking things and this, that, the other, and I am the kind of person that's like, believe victims, and unless you have like some hard evidence that says otherwise, and he hasn't really provided anything that contradicts what these people are saying, at least in the clips I've seen. It's mostly been him saying, well, they're just lying about it for attention, they're lying about it for clout and things like that, when like he literally, I read that article the other day about how he has like, he lost defamation cases and things like that when he tried to sue those women for defamation for allegedly lying about him.
And you will see this too. You will see this, and you have probably already, like, you know, by what's been happening with this whole Paradise story, a lot of things are like grossly exaggerated.
And see, this is why Rosie's ass doesn't need to be involving her in this stuff, because this man is ready to use Rosie in whichever way he can. Because Tech sitting here talking about Rosie and her use of the word grooming has led to this man talking about people grossly exaggerating stuff and things like that. Like, it's multiple people who have complaints about Stefan, just for the record.
Intend to trigger people.
Yeah, one of my main points in that conversation is like, usually that word is associated to having some type of innocence or ignorance to the subject matter, yes. Right? Like they're inexperienced, but you know, I might have some evidence that she's known about these communities since she was like 20 years old. Oh, you know, she's known about what the whole idea is, how other people, you know, consume that type of media. So for her to say like, oh, I was so unaware of how, yeah, it just seems a little weird. I can give her like, if she said, oh, my ex-boyfriend like persuaded me or manipulated me, like that makes a little bit more sense. But the accounts look like she knew what she was doing, and that's kind of, I don't know.
I mean, the biggest red flag for me in terms of like having questions about Rosie's story is that she does blame like an ex-boyfriend. I think at some point she blames this guy that was stalking her, and she also at some point blames Ivy Davenport and Rain / Planet with a Palette. And so like Rosie's just had so many varying stories, and maybe some aspects of all of those stories could be true, but it's just like, I don't know. I've been watching Rosie for so long, and the ways that she like changes stories over time, changes what she remembers about them, claims whatever's gonna make her sound like she was the most negatively impacted by something. And so I just have questions, you know. I want to believe all victims, which would include Rosie in that situation. And also I do think there's a world where there are a lot of things that don't add up to ask questions about. I am curious. I mean, like, I think really tech is probably honing in on Rosie because I would imagine the entire lolcow team knows that they've got Rosie worked up because she, like she does, has made a point to go and talk so negatively about Keemstar and the LCU, call it moldy hot dog water. She really thinks she was cooking with that. She's had so much to say about those things that, yeah, I'm sure a huge motivator for tech and or lolcow in general to look into all of this is because she's giving them so much attention and they can tell that it irritates her. And I'm sure they've also done decent in terms of views. Well, I can tell you, they're not pulling the views that they were pulling when Amberlynn was on Bus, but all of this stuff with Stefan, Paradise, Rosie, etc., it is getting them 8 to 10K views usually on a live stream. So it's fair to say that that's the whole motivation right now, is that people are watching because of what they have to say about Rosie.
There's no shame in it, in my opinion. There's no shame in doing that kind of shit. But I don't know. Let me do better research. I don't want to talk out of my ass. So
also, I don't know much about tech outside of that he's on the LCU, but he is much more articulate, I think, than a good chunk of the people that I've seen on the LCU. Maybe I'm speaking too soon, but that's just a brief observation.
Right. Like once you got the receipts all lined up, then it always slaps so much better if you can show something and then say boom, 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 and here and look, and you know, at that point, like, you can never be painted as like somebody that just has an agenda against that person because you're just showing the receipts.
Amber, can I ask you a question?
Oh God.
Sure.
What made you and Rosie's relationship like sour? Like, what was the catalyst?
Me
God.
getting back with Tommy because she's like fully convinced that Tommy is like a feeder or whatever.
Well, that's because Tommy is a feeder. Amberlynn, you can sit here in denial all you want. You're literally on a panel right now with Stefan, so it doesn't seem like you really have any kind of issue with that yourself. So I don't know why you're so avoidant of just accepting that reality. I don't see why at this point you don't just accept that and own that. I think people would maybe, I don't know, actually, I don't want to go out on a limb. I was going to say maybe people would have more respect if you owned it, but at this point, you mark us well.
Okay.
Also, that's actually not what Rosie cited as the reason. Rosie cited Amberlynn going onto the lolcow bus and talking shit about Rosie. That's what Rosie cited as the problem.
The thing is, like, why is it any of your business? I mean, she's not, but like, why is it any of your business? Like, I'm confused.
I have this clip that in like this research I was doing. I guess you guys were having like a conversation in DMs, and I guess Rosie immediately like screenshotted the conversation and sent it over to like Zachary Michaels.
She did. Also, it slays me every time somebody calls me Zachary Michaels. Like, where's that S coming from? But that is true. That is true. There were many times. Well, there were multiple times. I don't know. I don't want to say many because that makes it sound like a lot. But there's more than one time that Rosie sent me screenshots of things that she sent to Amberlynn. And I was like, girl, what do you want me to do with this? In fact, actually, one of the times she told me that she wanted me to make content out of it. And I was just like, no, girl, I'm good.
That's like
immediately
years old.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It seemed like, I don't know, as I'm going through Rosie's shit, everything has been for clout, everything has been for drama.
Well, yes.
It seemed like even her intentionality of like, oh, I'm just looking out for you or whatever.
Yes.
Is bad faith. It's
It
just to get your name involved in your story.
Not to defend Amberlynn in any kind of way, but that's absolutely what Rosie does on the internet. Is like, how can I make this thing about me? And that is a perfect way to think about when Rosie was involved in Girl World and just starting her YouTube channel. She made videos. She made an entire video once upon a time about, I guess this is going to be about Rosie today. Sorry, I thought we were taking a break from Rosie. I didn't really... I wonder if Jane might have told me when she sent me this clip that it involved conversations about Rosie, and maybe I just glanced over that. But so apologies that this isn't too much of a break. But yeah, she made a whole video one time about how Chantal doing mukbangs and stuff like that triggered her trauma. And it's like, girl, just don't click on a Chantal video then, you know? But here we are. You can't find that on Rosie's channel anymore because she deleted it a long time ago.
And I feel like she's a hypocrite because, like, her boyfriend now, like, is a super skinny man. So just because he likes fatter girls, does that make him a feeder? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Period. Like, just because Tommy isn't fat.
Well, that's...
But she
Now, Amberlynn, let's not be dumb. Let's not... That's not why people think that Tommy is a feeder. Please be so serious. Amberlynn just glossing over the, like, actual documented evidence of Tommy posting on feeder websites, Tommy posting content of her and her late girlfriend on different websites and stuff like that. Let's not be stupid, Amberlynn. Let's not be stupid. I do think there's not that kind of evidence out there about Remy. There is that kind of evidence out there about Miss Emily, about Miss Tommy Salami. Please be serious.
Fat doesn't make her a feeder. Like, it just does not make sense, like, at all.
And I will say, part of Rosie's reasons for, like, when she was DMing me about Tommy and about Tommy being a death feeder and this, that, the other, Rosie was like, I know that she's a part of this community because she's following all of these people that I also follow from when I was in that community. So, like, Rosie... listen, was Rosie trying to involve herself for all of that for clout? Yes. Was Rosie wrong about all of that stuff just because she was searching for clout? No. See, this is how nuance works. This is how nuance works.
Yeah. It seems
like, Tommy
weird.
has never, like, forced me to eat. She's never, like...
Well,
she's just not...
I'm sure she didn't have to force you to do anything, Diva. Just because you're a willing participant doesn't mean that it's not feederism.
That, and it's like, people just assume, like, the worst fucking shit. Like, it's weird. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah, I mean,
what I put in my mouth is because of me. I've been fat my whole life. Like, that's all I know is fat. Like, I weighed 290 when I was 10 years old. Like, let's be so for real. I was meant to be fat. Like, this is what it is. Period.
Do you like being fat?
I don't know how to answer that. I don't like the health. I don't like the health aspect situation.
I always say if I could be fat and be like as healthy as a skinny person, I would stay fat. Because I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind being fat. Like, when I think about it, it's like literally people get so insecure just being like 200 pounds. It's like, I'm 500 pounds and I don't really care like how much I weigh. but I care about my health, obviously, you know what I mean? But, like, I've never felt that way about how skinny people look at us, like that we're, like, a different species or whatever. I don't know, it's just weird. I just have a different outlook on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing?
I think the more nuanced take there is that everybody should be treated with kindness regardless of their weight, right? Like, yeah, skinny people shouldn't be looking at you crazy. They should treat you with kindness and things like that. I think maybe that's the larger conversation, no pun intended, that we're trying to have here.
This girl, Stefan, if you see in the comments, this girl, Kush 420 Kitty, she keeps saying and making all these claims that I did something to Shay's phone. And can you tell her I'm not the one who said, I literally came up here worrying about what was happening. I didn't try to shut down the conversation. She keeps saying I tried to shut it down, and that's weird behavior, and saying that's like I'm guilty. I literally came up here and just said, what's going on? I didn't hear anything, and I was getting debriefed of it, and I said, oh, that's crazy. Like, who would do that? I was literally saying that's insane. I didn't say anything else. This girl's crazy. She's acting like she's a behavior analysis person and, like, reading me to death right here. Girl, join the FBI.
Someone in the chat said, do we all forget about the public breakup between Tommy and Amber where Amber called her a feeder? Look, I imagine...
Yeah. What's your response to that, Amberlynn? What's your response to you saying that you found her Tumblr repost or something, and I wasn't really covering you during this time, but I do remember watching some other people do videos about this, and didn't you say something along the lines of, like, she was jorking it to, like, women on oxygen tanks or something, and you didn't know what to do with yourself?
And of that accusation... And I imagine that when a couple breaks up, sometimes the emotions are high. You just, like, call them whatever you need to call them to get your anger.
Yes.
It wasn't a mad... See, this is where Tech Protect got me fucked up, because why are you out here trying to cover up things for Amberlynn? You should have just let her answer that damn mess on her own, okay? Okay, you should have let her answer that damn mess on her own, because it wasn't just a matter of Amberlynn calling her a feeder. She was going over in depth, like, things that she found on Emily's phone and on her Tumblr and things like that. Like, let's be so fucking for real. Let's be so fucking for real. Not to mention also, by the way, that you wouldn't find me still in a relationship with somebody who was on the internet calling me Pocahontas. Please. Amberlynn must have some kind of humiliation kink that she's still in this relationship. Either that or she just really has no self-worth.
We both said some very harsh things, like... She called me Pocahontas, like, she called me keeping up with the Kardashians.
Right.
Like,
who said that?
My own girlfriend, bitch. My own girlfriend. We need to calm down real quick. Like,
not Pocahontas.
We both said some pretty awful things. Like, we were crashing out. But this was, like, forever ago. Why do we always have to, like...
I'm sorry, that one's kind of good.
I know.
If my boyfriend or girlfriend call me Pocahontas, I'll be like, yeah, you got that shit. Like, that's good.
No, it is good. It's funny. I'm not going to lie.
That's crazy.
But I'm sorry. She loves this Porca-fucking-honest. Like, I don't know if we're allowed to cuss on here. Sorry.
Well, girl, and that's the thing, is that you just over here saying she's not a feeder, but yes, she likes her Pocahontas, girl. Like... Make it make sense. Listen, I've long said about Amberlynn, I don't know why I'm sitting over here trying to make sense out of nonsense, because that's just what Amberlynn's up to.
She loves my body. Like, let's be so for real. Like, she's obsessed, so...
You know, I'm really sad. I don't know what happened with you and Locale, but I gotta say, like, your best clips, some of your best clips are from that show. Like, I be watching TikToks of the funniest shit.
Oh, is this where she finds an opportunity? I do know, like, one of the reasons I'm even watching this is because she has some shit to say about me. So I imagine this is her in, because this girlie was just like, oh, I don't know I don't know what happened with you and lolcow. Well, she wasn't supposed to be monetized on YouTube, and she was trying to get around that, and YouTube demonetized her, and they found out about it because she was on one of her lolcow shows, and her co-host, Thick Gemini, threatened my life, and that video got reported and taken down for violations of terms of service. And a reporter reached out to me. I told the reporter what happened with it. I told the reporter how Amberlynn was getting monetized over on lolcow while she was avoiding not being able to monetize her own channel. And that reporter reached out to YouTube for comment. And because of that, YouTube was like, hey, yeah, Amberlynn shouldn't have been doing that. They demonetized 2 of the lolcow shows, and they kept her channel demonetized when she tried to reapply for monetization. And that's what you missed on Glee. The way that I've said all of those things in like 30 to 60 minute long videos in the past, and I could have just summed it all up in a matter of like minutes like I just did in this moment.
Was that when you were on that?
Yeah. I definitely played a character, I'll tell you that.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
I don't really know the lore though, so I don't know, but I was just a fan watching.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate, Amber. I think you were having probably the best time, at least in the last 3 years, hanging out there.
It's definitely unfortunate.
Uh-huh.
Like, I just needed a break from the LCU, so that's why, like, I quit. But then...
Uh-huh.
I don't know what happened.
You just needed a break from the LCU? That's the story we're going with?
Nah, you're just not going to be allowed on here at all right now. Let's just, like, not. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I have a theory about something that happened.
There's no... You don't have to have a theory. We know what happened. There's no theory. We know what happened. It's not a mystery.
So do I. What's your theory?
Well, something I probably shouldn't say publicly. What I can say is possibly unrelated, but maybe not unrelated to my theory, is remember how, like, in the second week of working with you, I was like, hey, you probably shouldn't fucking trust Thick Gemini. You probably shouldn't fucking trust Ron. I don't think they've ever had your best interest at heart.
No, Gemini is an awful human.
Yeah.
Girl, half the people at least on the lolcow universe are awful people. What do you mean, Diva? Yourself included.
I knew that since the fucking jump.
No, I think it's because Gemini threatened a reaction channel on lolcow Hero while I was on it.
Yeah.
And then lolcow Hero got demonetized. Keem thinks it's because I was on it, but I honestly don't.
It's because you were on it, Diva. Keemstar isn't fucking stupid. There's no conspiracy theory here, Diva. I got literally the message from the YouTube spokesperson to the journalist, and the journalist shared that with me. I can share it again. I'll put it up on. I don't have it in front of me right now, so it's gonna have to be in editing. But I'll show you it right here, where YouTube said flat out that lolcow Hero was demonetized because you were there, because you were on it, because you weren't supposed to be monetized. I still have so many questions about why Bus didn't get demonetized, or any of the other shows that you went on didn't get demonetized, but specifically that's what happened.
Because when I go to my back end, when I go to my back end and it shows me why I was demonetized this time, it literally says it's because I was a part of another channel that had serious violations. And I genuinely think it's because Gemini told Zachary Michael himself in Minecraft. But, like, the way he said it was very scary. So Zachary Michael went to, like, a journalist about it.
Okay, and
like, made, like, just...
And I know I already clarified this recently, but in case you didn't watch that, the journalist came to me. The journalist came to me. I wasn't trying to do some kind of like hit piece on Amberlynn. The journalist came to me. All right?
A big deal about it. Like, even though Gemini wasn't being for real, but okay. And then the journalist went to YouTube and like said how I was involved, and like it's just like this whole mess. Like, I'm not the one who said it. I don't agree with it. Like, I shouldn't be punished for someone else's like actions, in my opinion. But
I agree. You shouldn't be fucking punished. The reason why it happened is because of Thick Gemini. It just fucking is, girly. I've been going through on my side, looking at the whole YouTube.
I mean, you could say indirectly it was because of Thick Gemini, because that journalist would have never reached out to me had Thick Gemini never made those threats on my life. So you could say, in that case, yeah, I would agree. It's Thick Gemini's fault. Nobody would have been poking around. But I've done told you what the YouTube spokesperson said.
Bullshit. It's because they wanted you to get got. Local Hero had a number of moments. I don't know if you remember. Gemini with Iceman was also horrendous. They did some pretty wild things.
yeah.
Gemini had said some out-of-pocket comments. But yeah, if the journalist says, like, well, yeah, now that show's ran with this person, Thick Gemini, and Amberlynn Reed, big name, that's going to get you fucked. And I think that's what happened.
Yeah, but
I'm surprised that the channels that Gemini's on now aren't getting fucking trust.
Me too.
Well,
I think
that's because Thick Gemini isn't suspended from the YouTube partner program. Amberlynn is. Amberlynn is. The just like avoidance of accountability. And listen, I get it. It's so frustrating, I'm sure, from Amberlynn's perspective. But it is what it is. It's what happened. It's just whatever.
Mr. Michaels doesn't really care to continue looking into it because it's not you.
Well, I don't.
No, I definitely agree with that statement.
No, I don't. First of all, Mr. Michaels is crazy because in no ways is that my name. In no ways is that my name. But second of all, no, I don't give a shit about Thick Gemini, nor am I going to continue making content on somebody who's out here literally said that he wanted to see my throat and wanted to see me gutted. Okay? No, I'm not going to keep making content about him. No, I'm not. I don't have any desire to engage with that man in any other way than what I already have. So no, I'm not going to make content about him. I don't make content about him. The only time I ever made content about him was in relation to that particular live stream where he did that. So, like, please be serious.
It's so dumb.
But I can reapply again on August 3rd, so...
Ooh, August 3rd. Mark your calendars.
Make content on that YouTube channel.
I know.
Because they will go and look at your last 10 posts, see how they're doing in terms of watch time and all this other bullshit, right? All the analytics, background shit.
That's really easy for me to get. I can get it in one live stream, so... But, not to be cocky. That was crazy. But, yeah.
Yeah, but you need 10. You need 10 videos, or else the bot has to send it up to someone else. So 10 videos is like a auto apply. Less than 10 videos is like a manual review. And you're more likely to get like a we don't really care.
Look at Tech trying to give her all kinds of helpful advice, and her just being like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm just gonna do whatever. Okay, girl. Have fun going another 3 months being unemployed. I don't know what to tell you. And listen, somebody in my comments on the last time I talked about Amberlynn being broke was like, I just don't think it's a very good look to be so giddy about Amberlynn being unemployed during a time when it's so hard to face employment. I'm not talking about other people because, yeah, I think it is a really hard time for people to find employment. I think a lot of people are struggling right now. The world is fucked and so is our country in so many ways. And I'm sure it is a really hard time. Amberlynn has had a really easy time for the past 10 years or whatever that she's been on YouTube, not doing fucking shit and being an awful person while doing it, okay? No, I don't have a lot of empathy for Amberlynn Reed. I lost my sympathy bone, if you will. She has caused, she's caused issues in just my life, but she's caused even worse issues in the lives of, her partners, her pets, etc. So no, I don't give a shit. Be unemployed. Amberlynn, figure it out. She ain't never had to deal with accountability for a lot of stuff in her life. And for the first time, she's having to really face some serious accountability in terms of not getting paid because she broke the rules. Okay? So that's on her.
Person, but a bot will just see the statistics and say, hey, here's a stamp.
So, Tech, how do you feel about people who say things like, stop talking about Zach, leave them alone, period, but Zach can have a whole channel based on...
Listen, there are a lot, especially, I've always said this, that person's not speaking for me, just for the record. Especially if I've ever talked about somebody, more than welcome to say anything. And even if I haven't, I probably just won't pay attention to it. But anytime Amberlynn, Rosie, Chantal, anybody I've ever talked about on Twitch, anytime those people want to talk about me, I'm open to listening to it. Because, yeah, I've had a lot of stuff to say, obviously. So I don't take issue with that. And if some other rando that's talking about me and I never talked about you, I probably just won't go look because I don't need that kind of information in my life. But yeah, Amberlynn's allowed to say whatever the fuck she wants to say about me. I'm allowed to respond and point out how stupid it is. But yeah, let me see if I can't rewind just a little bit because I don't know. Actually, I'm using whatever the Mac video player is in QuickTime, and I don't know if it's really working the way I want it to.
Based off of me and stuff. That's weird when people do that shit.
I have considered doing a little mini doc on Zachary Michaels. Not that he's done anything wild, but maybe he has. I don't know. But I probably should explore it. There's a lot of commentary on a lot of other people.
Yeah, he has a Reddit page. There are people who do not like this man. So
yeah.
Listen, okay, feel free. feel free to do whatever documentary I don't know what he just called it. Feel free. The things you're gonna find are that I have 2 degrees in education. I gave up working in education to do this full time, to be a silly goose on the internet, to cover this kind of nonsense. If you want to, go down the route that people like FFG, Cam, Rosie, and or probably the people of the Reddit page that talks about me want to go, all I ask is that you do more than just post their alleged conspiracy theories and you back those things up with fact, because I think Rosie has talked specifically about me neglecting my pet, which she's tried to apologize for. FFG has talked about me neglecting my pet and has also tried to say that I abused my ex, which never happened. And Cam likes to say that I abused my ex, but all of these people are constantly posting this stuff without any receipts, any proof, any screenshots, because it didn't happen. These things didn't happen. I've never neglected my pet. I never abused my ex. I've never done any of these things. So all I ask, Tech, is that if you do something about me, if you make some kind of content about me, you sit down with actual proof and receipts. Because there's a lot of nonsense out there of people just making shit up, and I ain't never once seen any kind of proof to support the really salacious allegations that some of these folks are making. And I say this because Thick Gemini tried to play this game. Thick Gemini tried to come into a Lol Cow Hero live stream after I talked about the threats he made against me. And he tried to post this tweet that he got simply from FFG, where FFG was saying that I abused my ex, right? And it's like, that's not proof. That's just FFG talking shit. And let me tell you, a lot of shit comes out of FFG's mouth and it's not true. So that's all I ask. You wanna go take a deep dive into the Zachary Michaels lore? I just ask that you come with actual receipts, actual stuff that exists, because if you do that, then you're going to find out there's not a lot there. There's not a lot to talk about. I am a relatively unproblematic person outside of my affinity for coming onto the internet and talking about Amberlynn, Chantal, and Rosie. And if that's the worst thing about me, then I'm going to just have to live with it, I guess, huh?
Don't know too much about any person in all these communities, right? My background in YouTube is like the politics sphere, so I'm barely learning about everyone.
Yeah.
But hey, who knows? Maybe he had said something out of line on a live stream from like 3 years ago, and I'm the person who finds it and is like, well, is this okay, Mr. Michaels? Wait.
Maybe he has a what live stream from 3 years ago? I am going to figure out how to go back because I did not hear what he said there.
I'm on a live stream from like 3 years ago, and
I didn't go back far enough! Damn it. Do y'all love watching me struggle in real time? I'm so unkin chopped when it comes to anything tech. I'm really becoming my parents.
Not that he's like done anything wild, but like, you know, maybe he has. I don't know, but I probably should explore it. He gives a lot of commentary on like a lot of other people.
Yeah, he has a Reddit page. Like, there are people who do not like this man. So
yeah. I don't know too much about any person in all these communities, right? My background in YouTube is like the politics sphere, so I'm barely learning about everyone.
Yeah.
But hey, who knows? Maybe he had said something out of line on a live stream from like 3 years ago, and I'm the person who finds it and is like, well, is this okay, Mr. Michaels? Wait.
I genuinely still didn't understand what he was saying. Maybe he has a something live stream from 3 years ago, and I'm the first one to notice, is what he said. I don't know, divas. I guess I'm just gonna have to leave that a mystery. Y'all can let me know what you think he said in the comments.
Zachary, they, them? He, him?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, he said just use either one. So.
Okay, whatever is the most respectful way, I will do. Stefan.
Oh, is that it? Well, there you go. First your money, then your clothes. Fascinating. What a time. Yeah, I guess that's all I got to say. Maybe one day Amberlynn will learn to take some kind of accountability for the stuff she's being held accountable for. But it is kind of wild to me. Oh my gosh, I've been struggling with words so much in this video, and technology. God, fuck me, I guess. Anyways, it's kind of crazy to me and wild to me that she knows what the issue is. And she's still like, well, I think it was Thick Gemini, actually. And it sounds like even Keemstar like backed up what I said was the reason that she got those channels demonetized and why she is not monetized right now herself, and she just refuses to believe that, and that is wild to me. Anyways, that's all I have time for today. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did and you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!